Welcome to this Time Capsule video 2018! My name is Colin. I take any pronouns. It is currently the 6th of August 2018 and I am 18 years old because that's how time works.
That's how years work.
I think I said that exact line in a previous video. I've just written hair. What does hair mean? Also bald. Oh, that's why I said hair. I didn't have any hair, and now I do have hair. Currently it's just about long enough for me to tie it up. I can do it more nicely when I put the effort in, but I've just woken up. Next, music/obsession. So last year I said that Martin Creed was coming to an end. My Martin Creed obsession is just coming to a close. That wasn't true. I feel in the same place about Martin Creed as I did last year, I'd say. So he's felt like he's been coming to an end for like more than a year now, but he clearly isn't. He feels like he's gonna cling on a bit longer. Presently, I'm kind of more obsessed with the Turner Prize as a whole. But I feel like I kind of was. The Turner Prize was an extension of my Martin Creed obsession before the last Time Capsule video. Yeah, Drag Race ended pretty recently actually. After season 10, by the end of it I wasn't invested and RuPaul had been transphobic. So I'm kind of officially over it now. Music! I'm gonna check Spotify. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a list. Cave Town, just started listening to Ren Steadman last night. Dog Bite, an amazing playlist I made that's 6 hours long called She Studies Sculpture at St. Martin's College, for obvious reasons. Sufjan Stevens, The Mountain Goats, Placebo Unplugged, Mike Nesmith, Lucy Phillips, excellent. They only have like 2 monthly listeners. We need to make that 3. George Ezra, still more Martin Creed here. Rick Astley, he just released a new album. Dolan Jones, Boyce and Hart, Tom Robinson. There you go. That'll do. Tattoos. After watching last year's video, I realised how ridiculously quickly I have accumulated tattoos in the last year. 3 weeks after filming that video, I got this. Boom. Keith Haring's Radiant Baby. It symbolises youthful potential. I also got this Museum of Transology tag. Oh, I've got this like half-finished one on my leg. That is gonna be a picture of Andy Warhol and his mum, and this is a cereal box because Andy Warhol was eating cereal in the box. I don't know what's gonna happen with that tattoo. I'm leaving it there for now, see what happens. And then on my arms, ooh, arm tattoos. I don't know what that noise was. That was meant to be like sirens. But I've got arm tattoos now. So on this arm, I firstly got Everything Is Going to Be Alright. Which is a reference to Martin Creed, so my love for Martin Creed clearly isn't over. Kind of got that after the Slade didn't want me, and I think what I've started to do is I've started to think about tattoos for ages and ages and ages, and then like in the knowledge that I want them, and then something will happen and then I'll go, this is the time to get this tattoo. So I wanted this tattoo for a really long time, and I've been thinking about the placement and the design and whatnot for a while, but after I got rejected by the Slade, I got it because I convinced myself that was my dream school. Even though Central St. Martin's was my dream school before I even knew the Slade existed. And then above that, similarly, I've got 2028, which is the year I want to win the Turner Prize. Again, the Turner Prize obsession, still going strong. So I kind of consider this tattoo a byproduct of the work I made for my final major project at Northbrook. The work itself was called Promising because I was making a promise to myself, and because when I met Gilbert and George and I told them that I was going to St. Martin's and they told me to fuck the teachers and I said that I already did, then they called me Promising. The work was about like moving on and making a commitment to myself and the next 10 years because it's like I'm leaving this point in my life and I'm starting a new one. And then lastly, although not chronologically lastly, because I got it before the other two on my arm, I have Keep Working. When I met Peter Blake like more than 2 years ago now, he kept saying, keep working, keep working, keep working, and since then I've lived by that, and that's what got me the Museum of Transology work. That's what got me into talking genders. That's what got me into fucking art school. So yeah, I got it kind of in the style of his handwriting, and I really love it. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to get a tattoo of a work by David Shrigley. I wanted a David Shrigley tattoo forever. Like, before I even started getting tattoos, I wanted a David Shrigley tattoo so badly. For a long time, I didn't know what I wanted, but then when I saw him talk at the Brighton Festival, then a lot of the talk, like most of the bits he brought up I've seen before because I've consumed a lot of David Shrigley media, and lots of his talks similarly are on YouTube. So I've seen lots of them before, but he showed this piece. He said almost nothing about it. It just came up on his slideshow and then he continued on. But I saw it and it says Art Police, and I just thought it was hilarious and like super relatable because I haven't even been to art school yet and my work has been censored many a time. Journals. So pretty quickly after that video I stopped doing my self-portrait a day. It got too much to handle, and my mental health wasn't great and I was very busy, so I just stopped. I think it's for the best. In terms of journals, I literally just finished this one, which my mother got me from the Museum of Contemporary Art Africa. I started this journal in March and it's presently August, so I think that says a lot about my journal usage these days. It's nice just to have something to put stuff in every once in a while, but ultimately I don't really consider drawing to be a particularly significant part of my practice anymore. Half of this journal is just like notes and writing. Shoes. Every year I comment on why on earth in the first Time Capsule video did I decide that shoes were a great decision. But here are my shoes. This is one of my present pairs of shoes. They used to be pink, now they're, I don't know, gross coloured. I legit think that I should change it, maybe. Instead of shoes, it should be like, what's my present water bottle? I only bought this one yesterday. I also have a purple one in the same colour that I haven't used yet. Or like, what does my bag look like? I've had this one almost a year now, and it's really good. But I also just got this one that my mother bought me, and it smells like plastic. But it's pretty good. So maybe next year, hey there, future Colin, you could do bags or water bottles. Thanks. My current phone wallpaper looks like this. It is a picture of me and my mum at Trans Pride holding a Museum of Transology sign, and I think it's really nice because it's got my mum and the Museum of Transology in it. What more could you want? Testosterone! So last year I talked about testosterone because I thought that was going to be a thing I talked about regularly. It isn't. I stopped that. I stopped taking testosterone pretty soon after that video, almost a year ago now, and it was weird because I never had an official, like, this is the last testosterone I'm going to take, because, like, why would I? I decided I want to stop taking it after a long time of, like, fucking about, like, sometimes taking it, or, like, taking it less, but I'm really happy with where I'm at presently with my body, I think. I like what it's done in terms of the permanent effects. Miscellaneous life things is the title of this last part. Yeah, so firstly, the Museum of Transology. Last year I said it would be open for a year, so this year I should be saying it's just closed, or it's about to close. No, they extended the date to May-ish. They keep extending it. I want them to extend it to a time when I won't be at uni so I can deinstall it. Thanks. But I also want them to make it a permanent exhibition. Also thanks. I've been getting involved in loads of other stuff at Brighton Museum and Art Gallery. I've been part of the museum collective, so we've been doing loads of work around Gilbert and George. So I met them and I did some live performances based on their work and exhibited some films based on their work, and that was amazing. And I'm currently rushing to finish my Gilbert and George trail, which hopefully is also going to be really good based on their 10 commandments. In the last Time Capsule video, I mentioned talking genders, and I was about to do talking genders, and it was some art thing, and I was really looking forward to it. Next week, I start a 3-week course up in London called Talking Genders. It's for 16 to 25-year-old LGBTQ artists to discuss gender. Holy moly, I had no idea what to expect. Holy moly. Yeah, shit, man. It was far more performance art than I expected. After the first night, I went back to Nanny Doris's flat and I had a panic attack. But I went back because I knew Travis Alabanza was going to be there on the second day, and I really loved their work. And I stayed for the whole time, and it was really good. And I wholeheartedly believe it made me a better artist, like a much, much better artist. And it fucking crash course in performance art right here. I would not feel comfortable to do the performances I've done at the museum and stuff if I hadn't have had that. But it was so intense. In that space, I unpacked information about myself that I'm going to be processing for the rest of my life, probably. And afterwards, it kind of put me in like a real tailspin with my mental health. Then my last point is, college was still meh, but I got a better teacher and a better grade. I still didn't enjoy the second year at all. But I did get a better teacher, and I think I pushed myself to make work that excited me and made me, put me outside of my comfort zone, especially after talking genders. Also, just behind the camera is a little box. I just call it my box. Yeah, so every Sunday I get like a 20-minute broadcast that is broadcast to me and 24 other trans non-binary people around Brighton. And then I can speak into it whenever I want, and whenever I do, then my little pink colour flashes up on the little boxes of everyone else around the city. And I'm really excited to find out who the 24 other people are. I feel like I should probably completely acknowledge I'm about to go to university! Yay! Oh boy, I can't wait to see future Colin go, oh no, I don't want that to happen. But I think anything I say now, I will find hilarious, ironic, ridiculous, wrong in a year's time. But I'm just going to say it, because I'm not doing a future old videos. That's a reference no one will get. I'm really looking forward to university. I think it's going to be really good for me to leave home, but not too far. And I've just got a job. I move in 19 days, mother lickers. Hell yeah. I move in 19 days. That's ridiculous. I cannot wait. I'm gonna get a great job and a great degree and be surrounded by great people and finally be the art student I came out of the womb as. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. There you go. Don't really know what else to tell you. I feel like as soon as I turn the camera off, I'm gonna think of 100 other things I should have said. But there you go. Cool.